My stereotypical thought on this is going to be much, much smaller scale than a firefighter saving his family. But I go back to the same exact thing I said last week. My neck felt like something I had to do. I just had to do it. Regardless of if I died, regardless if I didn't die, my family I knew would be in a better place if I got my neck taken care of.
He had a 20% chance to die in surgery, and he's like, still got to do it.
How's everyone going? This is RMTS 151. We have 8BitEric with us this week. How's it going, bud? It's been
it's going pretty good.
Been trying to schedule this for like a good, month and a half, 2 months now. It's been bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I'm pretty busy usually on the weekends and stuff, so it's kind of hard to get a hold of me. And then on top of that, with my own streams and stuff like that, sometimes it's hard to get stuff together. But glad we finally got it arranged.
Yeah, guys, as always, check out the merch and all of the stuff that will scroll down below underneath the video. Use code RMTS at checkout on G Fuel and subscribe. Podcast is growing like fucking crazy, and it's fantastic. It took us a little bit to get to 1,000 on a new channel, but now all of a sudden now it's going. So keep liking
once you
and
put in that
subscribing.
partner application, YouTube gives you a little
I think they noticed that you mean business once you hit certain. I think honestly the true test is your first 100 videos or so, and then from there I think YouTube automatically sees.
Absolutely stupid too.
Yeah,
it keeps randomly jumping in watch time that it says it has available. It'll jump down to 2,000 like it is right now. It's like 2.7K. I'm like, you allowed us to apply for partner literally a month ago when it was at 5,000. Now it's 2.7. You're stupid. You're drunk, YouTube. Go home. But yeah, it's fantastic. Make sure to subscribe and like and all that shit. Go check out Eric.
Yeah, I appreciate
Holy
it.
Shit. The world is fucking exploding for some reason.
Almost like Trump's head.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty crazy week. So everything that is going on is pretty interesting. And it's literally like everything
all at once. So at first, everything happened with Boogie, which was the smallest thing that I've ever seen in the world happening. And then Trump happened this weekend. And I absolutely shit bricks because I watched it.
Well,
and it was really
to touch first with Boogie. I had a friend actually who made a video. I made a video about it, but I had another friend that made a video about it. And his take was, this isn't going to cancel Boogie. That it seems like every time he does something, the next thing is bigger and bigger and bigger. That at this point, I know Boogie personally. Like I literally could call him right now and talk to him. So
can I.
He didn't like I wouldn't say he didn't like the video I made about him, but he was just upset that I made a video talking about it. With my take, it was more like, look, man, if I was being accused of faking cancer, I would do everything in my power to show people that they were wrong and that they were full of it. I was like, I wouldn't even taken the money because I still think they weren't going to pay him jack. Even if he showed it, there's no way in hell Mudahar will write $50,000 just like that.
That entire group as a whole is a bunch of trolls. Like, if we don't genuinely understand this, they're a bunch of trolls and shitlords. That's what most people are that are online. We all have fun. We all talk shit. We're all fucking old Call of Duty players that's out there loving Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. If everybody doesn't understand we're shit talkers at heart, you're crazy.
But here's the thing is the only reason why they were offering high money like that is because they knew Boogie wasn't going to show it. But in a hypothetical, let's say some other universal timeline, let's say Boogie said, okay, here, boom, and showed it and had absolute proof that he was telling the truth, they wouldn't have paid up. I'm saying that right there. They would not have paid up. And I, I was more disappointed that he was just giving up. Like he was laying down. He's like, you know what? That's cool. Go with that. I'd rather just be called that I'm faking instead of, selling myself short. And I told him privately, I'm like, Boogie, dude, I was just not a good look. Even if you're telling the truth, just the way that he handled it was not a good look at all. And then, he came back on last night and just all that. And then today, not even like an hour ago, Keemstar tweeted out that tomorrow he will be letting Boogie go or something, or he's talking about it like he discovered something else that's way worse than faking cancer, and it deals with mental health. And I'm just
they're doing exactly what they said they weren't going to do. We're not going to fake anything. Let's make everything the biggest thing in the world. Keem, you're a fucking genius, and I'm not going to fucking doubt it, man. But fucking hell.
Like y'all's branch, because I think you said your thing says you're a producer of PKA. Are y'all against local, or what do y'all lie?
No, I don't really think they care. They want Wings to succeed. I think everybody does. I went to work for Lolcow, actually. Wings got me in, and I didn't end up having the time or the PC, and my PC shit the bed when they're like, hey, edit the podcast. I was going to. I didn't get a chance to put my best foot forward, but I don't think they really have any kind of fight in between them other than, what Keem wants.
I mean, at the end of the day,
drama.
At the end of the day, like, again, I know Boogie, and I know sometimes he could be super, super spurgy and dumb. And what I see now is that they're running with it, like Boogie legitimately making a mistake. Now they're just going to run with it and go forward with it. And
they're going to turn it into a meme.
Yeah, honestly, the best thing Boogie could do, and this is my opinion, is to stop talking about it. Just go back to entertaining the people that watch him. Like, all crypto scam aside, that Andrew Cake character that he had with the little sausage cigar, I see potential in that more than Francis. I want Fat Boogie acting like he's some playboy with a whole bunch of hoes with him and a success story, just faking it, running with that.
No, like, think about it, like, very, very hypothetically. Imagine all of the chicks that are now burnt out of high school that were like the goth chicks that were absolutely burnt and broken and like are 20 years old and have all of the daddy issues in the world, the broken ass teeth, they have zits on their face still. The chicks that nobody wants anywhere near them. Just give them to Boogie, and he has like 30 of them half naked behind him in every video. And just be a smart ass, acting like he's half Italian and half a mobster. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, he needs to just focus back on just entertaining. Like, nobody, and I learned this the last year too, nobody wants to hear your personal nobody gives a crap. Nobody wants to know what you're struggling with.
Unless that's what your first part, like, if you're open-hearted and your heart's on your sleeve and it blends from character to personality and back and forth, you cannot go to that. You cannot go and be a human then. If they didn't want to know about you to begin with, they don't want to know about you now. And it's either they openly want to know about you always, or they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And there's no in between.
And then it's funny because you talked about the Trump assassination, and we could speculate on all that. But the thing that came out of that is two things happened this week that dealt with destiny. That involved destiny. First, he called Boogie out on the cancer stuff.
The call out on Boogie. Let's not graze past that one. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. How that man reads a Wikipedia page and spits it back out and makes you feel like a dipshit is fucking perfect. Like, dude can make anything sound intelligent. Like, absolutely fucking genius. And it's like, you just read Wikipedia, man. Like, honestly, I understand what you're doing, but like, if you're not fully up to the level of Wikipedia, you get talked over very quickly. I remember an episode that they had him on PK, and he talked about lead pipes. And Woody, of all people, should know about lead pipes. Dude, you're fucking 76 years old. You should absolutely know the ins and outs of how lead pipes affected people and what they're still doing, because they're still affecting things.
Well,
and just talks around people. It's great.
I told Boogie, I said, dude, the second that he started trying to challenge you, you should have just manned up and said, look, I don't have to answer a fucking thing to you. And if this is what the call is going to be, I'm out. Because the more that he said and like stayed there and circled and his story started changing, the worse it got. Like, it's what I call like the talk to my lawyer thing. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody comes up to me with something,
not even that. It's not even that.
Lawyer.
You know the stereotypical like hurt child kind of response to everything, like the narcissistic parent shit.
Yeah.
The second that you can see somebody just start spiraling and trying to tell a lie and then having to change it because it's not bought, You could tell one of his parents was a narcissist. Like, cut and dry. That is the answer. That is the problem. You can see it from day one in that situation. Oh, I'm gonna lie. Okay, now all of a sudden he's getting the praise that he finally wanted. Oh, this lie doesn't work anymore. Then try and spin it slightly so way it's accepted. Once it's not accepted again, spin it again so way it's accepted.
He should have just told Destiny, hey, fuck off. I'm not answering shit. And if this is the rest of the call, I'm out. And that's it. He should have just, in hindsight's 2020, but then like not even a week later, Destiny's over here saying he no
should have screamed, appearing offline is going to stop it, and then turn off his computer. It would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Wings would have got the joke. It would have been fantastic. Appearing offline is going to stop it and turn it off. Fucking fantastic. Yeah. That's how you do it, Boogie.
I mean, with this whole Boogie thing too, I'm surprised at how popular it is, because I'm like, oh, Boogie drama number 732. I'm burned out on Boogie drama. I don't care. I heard like, oh, Boogie's faking cancer. Why does everyone care about this? Was like my take on it. And then you go to Locale Live, 100K views. Most viewed one all month, all last month, maybe even a couple months before then. So people
ever.
Wait, sort by most popular.
Ever.
Not ever. The first one and the first couple. DSP did better, but yeah, still, it's up there. It's a top 5 Boogie drama somehow in the year of our Lord 2024, when I thought everyone was cooked on it.
Well, I mean, that's also like what Keem said, like, how the fuck is Boogie gonna do a crypto drama in 2024? like
he like 2 dramas right within 2 days of each other. Oh, crypto rug pull, and then straight into faking cancer.
Yeah.
Like, this is pre-COVID shit. It just genuinely is. And it's
but see, that's the other
crazy
thing though that I was saying, is that I was even telling him, bro, the internet, give it like 2 weeks, and if you just go back to entertainment only and don't let people rope you into talking about it, you'll be fine. Just go back to entertaining. Don't even talk about it. Don't focus it. Don't hold a grudge against Locale or Destiny or Muda. Like, fuck, man, stop engaging with Muda. Like, who cares? Just move on.
I don't know. It seems like he's so emotionally manipulated in those situations that he's just able to be pushed around and fucked with and fucked with and fucked with.
Yeah.
And it was weird to watch somebody who is so, I don't want to even use this term, but it's so perfect for it, so autistic about numbers and controlling how something's said, like Destiny, to absolutely destroy something like this, that it's just like so meticulous that it could be unwound if it's just, poked with the right thing.
Yeah.
But he was so in his feelings of being told that he was lying about something that he couldn't dispute it. He just had to lie. And once he got into the lie, it was a cycle. And then you watch Destiny get burnt with the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I never followed Destiny like ever. Like, that was my first time actually seeing anything with Destiny. And then flash forward to after the assassination attempt, and now he's going unhinged on Twitter and stuff. I don't know how you guys feel about how he acted on there, but I thought it was pretty gross of Destiny.
Oh, absolutely. And he just got banned on Kick.
I just saw that.
Like, doesn't want that. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. Because the weird thing is, people that go, boy, I thought this was a free speech platform, about X or Kick or Rumble or all these other things. Like, yeah, except for the people talking about free speech, they're not like, no, we're not looking for a place to be racist or say just disgusting, abhorrent things. We just want to have conversation. It's like, oh, you're not allowed to question, like, wait, COVID's 0.1% fatality rate? Dude, and that's banned on Twitter.
That's the funny thing about it, though, is all these people that are crying free speech now were the ones that are always making fun of the right wingers for saying my free speech and my rights. They're the ones that were making fun of us for complaining. And now that the cancel culture is on the other side, they're crying. Like, I don't know if you guys follow libs of TikTok at all.
Oh yeah,
they literally have been like calling people out for like the last 2-3 days, showing their work, their name, like everything, and getting people fired.
It's fucking obnoxious. It's genuinely fucking obnoxious. Not what they're doing, what the shit they're saying is. It's like, guys, regardless, and this was my point in having this conversation at all, because genuinely it's a fucking toxic waste field that if you say one fucking thing wrong, you're wrong. But as a whole, the answer is very, very straightforward. Nobody, absolutely nobody, should want or wish harm on anybody that is not harming others. It's not fucking complex. It's not fucking hard. Nobody is being hurt in these situations. Stop wishing harm on people. It's not fucking acceptable. And it's not fucking acceptable to say, oh, this person died. Huh, so funny. Joke. Like, yes, make light of it in certain ways. Absolutely acceptable. Let's understand that comedians are going to make jokes. And they're going to make jokes on both sides. I believe that same night, I think last night on Kill Tony, they had a Trump impersonator
they did.
and a Biden impersonator. Like, understand that comedians are going to do their job. We're going to have fun. We're going to joke around. But there is a line in everything.
Well, yeah.
It's also
the culture is now.
Pretty obvious if you're being evil or not.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, I hope this person's head exploded. It's like,
well, especially when Destiny's like, oh, I would, if any of my viewers here that would be at that rally, if you guys got shot, I would, make fun of you, and I would have no sympathy for my parents if they were in that crowd, and fuck the firefighter that lost his life. And dude, he was like next fucking level. Like,
to me, that genuinely just sounds like such a level of Machiavellianism or narcissism that they could just disconnect from who a human actually is.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like. That's what I hate about the world now is like, instead of having a conversation with somebody on a screen as a human, they're having a conversation with a screen. And it's like, guys, that's not what the fuck any of this is about. And that's why I love the pun of the name of the show as a whole. It's like, real men do talk shit. But the thing is real men will actually talk shit to your face. We'll have a conversation. We'll joke around. Whatever the fuck it is, I'm going to say it to your face, regardless of if we're over a screen or in person. I'm the same exact fucking person. And if that gets me hit and that gets into a fight, it gets into a fight. I don't fucking care. I'm the same person.
Yeah.
You're different. You're
that
an
goes
asshole.
back to what you were saying, like in the beginning, where it's like, oh, we're just shit talking and all this stuff, and from the COD community, and now it's drama, and sometimes acceptable, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a character when I do my YouTube content, even though I'm just like, cheating is wrong, all of these other things. I'm like making big, somehow controversial statements for me to say cheating is wrong in Pokemon and to call out people. But then like that gets me hate, and then people are surprised when they like interact with me in person. It's like, oh, you actually believe that? It's like, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't I?
Here's the funny thing, what you're just saying with like people talking shit to face. Destiny, they tried to get Destiny on the Locale Live last night, right? Because Boogie was calling him out, saying he's posting all this disgusting bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Destiny didn't answer any of Keem's calls or invites to come on the show, but he sure as fuck went on to be like, Boogie, you're faking cancer, and a one-sided like attack, but he didn't come back on again to face the music when he's in the hot seat. So I found that kind of, you know what I mean?
But as a whole, at some point, aren't you just validating a show that's kicking you at the negative point then?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can come on and get your click because that's probably what he got from doing everything with Boogie.
Yeah.
But he's giving them clicks by coming on in a negative time. And I think that's what a lot of people are kind of learning. You know what I'm saying? There's
it's obviously like, I know a lot of people, even like with Review Tech USA, where he's like, I'm not going to go make them money. They're going to come on to my show instead. But at the same time, it is pretty chicken shit to be like, avoiding being.
I'm going to run my mouth over here, but I'm not going to come to you.
Yeah.
No. Everywhere, man.
That's the thing about me. Like, I'll say the same thing everywhere, anywhere, wherever I go, and it's a concession otherwise, because like, oh, that means you either don't believe what you said or you know what you said is wrong.
But I also think Destiny was live streaming on his own when he went on and called Boogie out. I think they were live streaming on their end. So
or doing his podcast. That's where he was like his podcast studio.
Yeah. So it's not like he wasn't going to be. He wouldn't have made content anyway. But I just found it a little like it looked like he was getting in the hot seat. And now he got banned off Kick. Who knows how long, if it's even a perma ban.
I imagine it's a perma ban, but also he's demonetized on X from this too, which
that was confirmed.
Well, that was a rumor. I just heard
he was
like
bitching about it.
Because Elon said you're right to account that pointed out. Goes, yeah, you're right. This falls in breach of TOS, but I don't know if it's been confirmed yet.
Well, hopefully
Yeah,
it's
he
good.
was
Well, either
bitching
way,
about
like
it.
if it is and if he's complaining about it, but then it just kind of shows like a lot of people's like, oh, it's Destiny. He's clearly just doing this for the drama. He's baiting and you're all falling for it. If that's true, then it's just hilarious that he like loses everything for this bait. Like he was getting the master grift off of the assassination attempt and now it all falls apart, or he actually believes it. And I've never liked Destiny because it seems like this is something he would believe because his brain is so cooked from all these fake debates for over a decade or however long.
Yeah.
So like whatever happened, he got what he got his due.
That's the game that Keem does as well. He says, make everything a game. And I fucking used it to full strength when they pulled me on that fucking live stream. They're like, Zach, you came here because Woody paid you. I said, no, Keem, you want to hear the crazy thing? You paid me to fuck up your show. You did it. Fuck you. And flipped it directly on him. And he's like, I don't even know what else to say. I don't even know what else to say. I'm like, yes. How many people go into war with Keemstar and fucking win?
I mean,
and get Keems to stop and be like, I don't even know.
Yeah,
and just
I
repeat
me and him squashed it, but at the time, yeah, when I first went on, and it turned into a talk about everything but Review Tech USA and Mine's beef, and then turned it let's try to get Eric to go on a date with Melanie, and they're just avoiding everything about like Review Tech wouldn't even let me talk. And then Keem was like the next day, like, hey,
way to win.
Keem was like the next day, he's like, you want to come back on? I was like, fuck no, I'm not going to. You know, I was like, I'm not go on. So then he streamed by himself that Friday, just like reacting to one of my videos. And then finally he went back on my stream and we've squashed it since then. And I would say we're cordial right now. But yeah, I learned very quickly
I have
that
no bad blood, but it's fun. It's fun. You don't see very many wins against Keem, and I think that line just.
Well, the best thing was he was reading the comments
funny.
and he goes like, "You guys were mean to Eric. You guys did this and that." And then he goes, "Man, I guess the whole comment section is for Eric. I was wrong." And I took that clip and I'm just like, I'm taking that. But
so
no bad
what do you
now.
what do you think's going to happen with Boogie and then Destiny? Obviously, what do you think's going to happen? You think Boogie's going to end up falling from grace even farther?
I think Boogie absorbs drama and just adds it to him.
Yeah, I think he's like Majin Buu, dude. I think he's just gonna get. There's no canceling him.
He gets bigger. That's it.
Yeah, there's no canceling him. I think the only thing left, dude, is that if it's fine, like something like, I mean, what's more fucked up than this accusation of faking cancer? Other something pedo or
like he has to get doctor disrespected, and that's the only thing that can take someone down.
Or
like
Desi actually being forced and held there, or like
crazier
things that kind of are debunked.
We went through that though. That Lucy
but
Fox
if there's proof, then you know there might actually be something that's.
I think he's going to end up being all right. You know,
I think he's just going to stay at the same amount. Like it's going to die back down, and it's not going to do anything different.
Yeah. And like, I want to see him
as Wings' dick pic. You know what I'm saying? As a whole.
Yeah. Now, in regards to him and Destiny, I think I could see this beef taking off pretty good. If I was Boogie, I would be taking full advantage of trying to call Destiny out right now on this.
You should be jumping on this and jumping on every single thing, especially with Destiny on things like Piers Morgan today.
Yeah. I heard about that. I didn't get to watch it.
I just know the clip of him telling him he's a disgusting, inhuman piece of shit.
Damn.
Or something similar to that.
Yeah.
So he was doubling down again?
Wow.
Yeah.
Losing monetization is like the GG. That is the canceled. And it also depends on like if we start seeing 2014, 2015, 2016 stuff, we're like, oh, if your payment processors also just stop taking, where like if Patreon comes in and says, no, you're not allowed to do this. If PayPal comes in and says, no, you're not allowed to take donations anymore. Like Destiny's kind of on the fringe of being done.
Yeah.
He's more done than Milo is now. And that's fucking weird to me.
Dude, so I don't really ever follow like Piers Morgan or that. This guy has over 8 million Twitter followers, and Destiny was on there quadrupling down on his whole thing. Yeah. No wonder he got demonetized.
On live TV.
No wonder he got demonetized, dude. He's probably gonna lose. He's gonna lose all of his avenues of revenue, man. Does he have big sponsors?
I don't know.
I don't know if he has them anymore. It was kind of like what happened with H3H3, where he's just like, we got no sponsors today. Thank you to our lovely fans for making that happen. It's like, well, yeah, reap what you sow.
And that's such a hard thing. Like, if you're going to shit talk and you're going to have fun, at some point, it's going to bite you in the ass because you're going to double down too many times and everybody's going to catch you on it.
All right. I got confirmation of a tweet from 2 minutes ago. I don't know if you guys can see it, but Destiny just tweeted it. It says his suspension's going to be expiring on July 31st.
They only gave him 2 weeks.
So it's a temporary suspension due to a breach of terms for hate speech. And it's going to be letting go.
That has to be an on-platform one instead of the ones that Twitch
and he still has an option, according to this, to appeal that.
Yeah. So more than likely,
he says never apologizing. So like this could if this is the 2 week like, hey, calm it down, and Destiny doesn't calm it down, like I see him getting
if he oversteps again, it might be indefinite.
Oh, the way he's going, it looks like he's going to.
We can only hope.
Scorch it.
But
his YouTube is growing, I assume.
Until YouTube knocks him out of the monetization for this.
What was his main revenue on Kick right now? Did he get a deal with Kick? Was he on a deal? He might have.
And most of those are guaranteed. It's not like he's going to pay them back the millions of dollars they said.
Yeah.
Also, Destiny's making bank on YouTube. 18 hours ago, 300K. 1 day ago, 500K for 2-hour-long videos. All right.
Dude, those are probably just re-uploads of what he does on Kick.
Yeah,
or the Twitter space that he did with fake Elon Musk.
Oh, I heard about that.
That shit got me so badly because I was sitting here playing COD and I all of a sudden I hear Elon Musk and I'm like, nope, I gotta hear this. And I click in. I listened to like 20 minutes of it. Dude sounds so much like Elon Musk. I had a complete confusion. I thought it was him. I went back. I showed Woody earlier. He's like, was that an AI or was that like somebody doing an impersonation? No, it's his voice. And he sounds exactly like Elon Musk.
I think I saw Drama Alert tweet out like, do you guys think this might be Elon under an alt?
It sounds like it. Like, sounds so scarily like it. I don't know. It's a question.
I mean, if there was anybody in this world right now that could probably do like a 1-for-1 clone, Elon might have a secret double.
Well, honestly, Elon having an alt, is that really that crazy? This dude is a shit poster on his main. Imagine what he would do on his alt.
That's what I like. I like when he tears into like Star Wars and like stuff about video games and randomly one time he was streaming Diablo 3. Like I'm like, what the heck?
The only thing I don't like about it is the fucking scammy YouTube streams and stuff that people do of like just streaming his face. It gives them much more questionability because you have to give it a second to see if it's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
You're like, wait, Elon's streaming? Nope, Elon's not streaming. This is just a scam, motherfucker. It's a pain in the balls. Every single time, though. But yeah, so do you think Destiny is going to fucking actually be permabanned? Is Destiny going to be done now?
I don't know. I'm looking at his base now, and it's like, he's not. Like, the Destiny subreddit doesn't care about this. He's still getting 300,000 views of video.
Yeah,
he's cultivated the ultimate degenerate audience to where like he can just say whatever he wants and get away with it, unless like the higher ups where it's like if YouTube demonetizes him, if Kick permabans him, and then he gets stripped of like all of his revenue streams. But until then, he still has an audience for this, and that's disgusting.
Oh, obviously,
does he have like a Patreon?
Rumble's still possible.
Does he have Patreon?
I don't know. I haven't kept up with that, but like some way of getting donations.
Well, there's always backed by and everything else too. Like there's so many different options.
I don't know. Like if Rumble would ban him, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if other things are starting to like demonetize him or cancel him, whatever, it'll be tough. But I don't see a guy.
Yeah, but right now it's not big enough.
Because he'll find ways to get contribute. Like if he doesn't have a Patreon now, he'll set up
mail him checks
or set a subscribe star or.
Well, even everybody got so crazed by Milo, and Milo was saying similar things from the right. Honestly.
And if anything, when people get canceled like that, if anything, when people get canceled like that, it gives them more popularity. Like if they get, it could backfire.
It's going to be interesting to see exactly what the fuck happens because the shit he was saying literally is not fucking okay to say. It's not even in the gray area. It's fucking out there.
If I was a family member of that firefighter, I'd find this guy and kick his ass. That's
The question is if whatchamacallit, if Alex Jones got fucking sued for billions of dollars, why is Destiny this soy boy who gets fucked while his girlfriend gets fucked right next to him? Why is he not getting sued for the shit that he's saying?
Or anybody that's saying it's staged or something like that. If we're going by that rule, that Alex Jones got sued for saying something was a hoax, and that
people being affected by it. This will affect people by it.
It's the person sitting right next to it that got splattered. Yeah, they should get 10 mil minimum.
Not to mention all the people that witnessed the guy climbing up the ladder, and they're like, so many people were in danger with fucking full video evidence of a dude climbing a ladder and them screaming and yelling at the cops. And then, you look at all the different, like, this is like surreal how many different camera angles we have on this. Like TMZ is showing a new angle every fucking day.
As everything goes, we might miss something might be debunked, something might be true when we don't give it as much credence as it is. I'm going to say everything as this is what I was told, this is what I read. I don't know shit. I don't know any more shit than you do.
The hat is backwards now. We're getting in.
No, I think honestly, dude, this whole thing was a fucking big tragic mishandling, and anybody that's saying anything very inhumane towards other lives being hurt or lost is pretty fucked up at this time. Now, as far as like somebody making a skit or something funny later on that doesn't involve people actually getting shot, but like maybe just like the two presidents just shit talking each other, I can forgive that. But somebody flat out coming out and saying,
like the memes they made of Trump's face afterwards. The memes that they made of Trump afterwards. Oh, why is he doing this when he was just shot in the ear? That's fucking funny. Like, yes, absolutely. We almost had one of the most tragic things in my entire lifetime, being 30 years old. This will probably be the second biggest thing in my lifetime already. It had a very close chance to be number one. And I think anybody, regardless of political ideology, genuinely can understand that and agree with that statement.
Yeah.
This 9/11 are 1 and 2, and I don't know which one is number one.
Oh,
I don't, because what happens after this will be the reason why this is number one or number two. If he goes and wins the election and absolutely dominates the ways that they're showcasing he does. Right now, CNN is saying that he wins the election today by 60 points, with 4 states not being counted at all, and New York, New Jersey, and New Hampshire, and Virginia randomly being a possible toss-up. New York is down to 7 points. He almost won New York over Clinton. I believe that the turnout rate was 10%. It is down to single digits now. The last time that a Republican won this heavily was another attempt like this with Reagan.
Yep. These guys,
he's more polarizing.
Honestly, and I think because I think even today they arrested a suspect that was going to probably try to shoot the RNC, and then also them giving Robert F. Kennedy more. I think they're going to try to set up. Whoever this is going to make people. This is going to make people copy
the RFK shit. That shit scares the fuck out of me. Regardless of what anybody wants to say, I've done so much work. I've read so much shit. I've hung out with Wendigoon.
I was even hung out with Wendigoon.
We have the third Kennedy now that is running for president, or is president, with Secret Service detail, and the last 2 are no longer with us and haven't been.
Yep.
Well, the denial of it is absurd. For anyone, like, it's like, okay, it's like you're definitely playing favorites. There's definitely something going on, allegedly, definitely something going on behind the scenes. If you were denying the third in the family line,
he's at 10%. He's polling 10% nationwide. So if Biden trips and falls a little bit farther, if Harris shits the bed in the next month in the VP debate, and Kennedy brings on a good VP, the Democrat Party
Dude, if
might
he picks
drop.
Vivek, it's going to be terrifying.
Man, if there is a powers that be, though, that obviously has had it out for the Kennedys for decades. If there is a powers that be, I think if it reaches that point, and there is, like, allegedly, I'm not trying to get Alex Jones sued. If there is a deep state, I think there'll be.
Well, deep state won't sue you, is the problem.
Eric,
I think they'll end up becoming.
I can't sue you anymore.
At this point, I think if it reached that bad, it got that low, there'll definitely be something that enacts martial law for Biden to stay emergency powered in past the election.
If things get more crazy, I won't be surprised if they pull that.
Yeah.
If they pull him, put Harris in, and say martial law and do not allow the election
because of war. Like if World War III actually officially starts, because honestly, let's be real. If Trump got killed, if Trump died, World War III would have hit. This would have kicked it off 110%.
Bro, that's actually like something I didn't consider.
And China have for him
was like, and just in World War III in general. Like they tried World War III with Ukraine, and they tried it with Palestine, Israel, and it's like, oh, they might be going for martial law.
Did you see where they said they're having to step up security now because there was a rumor that Iran was planning assassination on Trump? So if it seems like they're trying to set it like hey,
but the thing is did you hear his comments from the Taliban?
No.
For all of the things that happened in Afghanistan when Biden took over? No. He said, I had all of Afghanistan absolutely accepting everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I said, you do not harm an American's head. You do not harm one single hair on their head. And then I sent him a picture of his house from a fucking drone. I promise you, I will devastate you. Absolutely and entirely. I will dominate you. If you ever hurt an American. And then Biden absolutely destroys everything that he fucking set forth. And it's like, okay, so that level of respect that he had, that everybody understood that he would do something and absolutely do it to the letter of the law, like he was telling Israel to do. Do it to the full extent that way this shit is done.
Yeah.
You look at what he said at that point, what will actually happen? I don't think Putin continues. He gives up. I think Putin is
like, let's not expand our great territory into Ukraine this decade.
Unless my fucking conspiracy theory is right and Zelensky and Putin are on the same team, that is the only way that shit gets continued. And I'm going to continue calling that out until something proves me right, because I think it's honestly the answer. They had so many chances at taking him out, and guess what? They haven't. There's a reason why they haven't.
I think the world's a stage.
Well, he wants to start the USSR. He has possible cancer and possible all of these diseases. He wants somebody who's going to be the face of the USSR after he's gone. So you tell me why an actor who didn't want to be a part of politics at all of a sudden takes lead.
Absolutely.
And now all of it, where does that not connect? And where does that not make sense? It seems an awful lot like a stage situation. I'm not leaving Ukraine. I'm going to stay here. They were in Kiev. They were there. You're telling me they couldn't have done something? Oh, they absolutely could have. They chose not to. They backed out of Chernobyl. They backed out of Kiev. They did nothing. They wanted to show they could do it.
They're getting billions of dollars too from us. So if it's all a plan, they're also taking money out of our fucking pockets at the same time.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound smart when you actually think about it instead of being like, okay, this doesn't make sense? No, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Did they get hurt by it? Absolutely. But as a whole, look at what they did at World War I and World War II. How did they fight World War I and World War II? They threw millions of people to their death in whatever fucking way they felt like. They just said, go. Most of the time, they didn't even have guns for all of them. They told them to still go.
When the person in front of you drops, that's your gun now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You find it, whatever vehicle you find, grab it.
It's yours. Guys, we're going to put Z's on here because none of you are trained. If you see a Z, don't shoot. It's okay.
And if you survive, it's yours now. So there you go. More than you'd ever have in your life.
Exactly. It's insane. It's fucking insane. Now, to go back to the Trump shit, all of the shit that you hear is so hard to just not look at it as a skeptic and somebody who tries to be somewhat intelligent.
Yeah.
The fact they had him in their sights and they were told to stand down and not do anything is the most confusing thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because it leads credence to them saying, oh, well, this is all staged. Okay, first off, bullshit. Let me just debunk that shit as a whole. Trump didn't do this. This is not Trump. Even if he is mastermind genius of the world and he knew exactly when to turn his head.
Yeah.
Can you trust somebody to hit something the size of a fucking quarter?
That's the most retarded thing.
Always. You're stupid. You're fucking stupid. There's no fucking way.
I will say this, though. There's one speculation that I have, and it's not anything that Trump staged it. I think, and this might sound a little loony, I think the reason why he hesitated to shoot the shooter was because if there was a deep state, allegedly, guys, I'm not trying to get Alex Jones. If there was a deep state, and let's say the shooter was in on it and the people that were the snipers were in on it, and there's a deep state that has,
the
all the
snipers
police
were not in on it. The sniper that shot him is fired without a job.
Okay, so here's what I was gonna say.
Isn't that just a 4chan post though?
No, but here's what I was gonna say.
Confirmed.
Even if he wasn't in on it, he was ordered still to wait, right? So let's say the deep state said you don't shoot until you know that he shot. So let's say the shooter didn't miss, right? So let's say the shooter was ordered by deep state to kill Trump, and no matter what was going to happen, that shooter was going to be shot by the sniper.
Yep. Do they ever talk?
Nope. Because what happened if he missed and the shooter didn't get killed? He was going to speak up about who told him to do what. Because conveniently, the FBI couldn't get into his phone or anything.
You want to hear the crazy part? The crazy part here. Mr. Retardy Oswald seems a lot like Lee Harvey Oswald. What happened in Dallas? Oh, you're not allowed to go into the school book depository. You cannot go in there. Somehow, this dipshit gets a fucking gun in there and it has a clear pathway to do whatever the fuck he wants. He does it. Do they question any other answer other than him? No.
Nope.
The next day, within days, he's dead. Look at exactly what just happened, guys.
Yep.
Oh, don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot.
Yeah. They needed him because I bet you, if hypothetically, if this is a Mission Impossible movie and everything, I bet you the deep state thought Trump got hit and the sniper was the shooter was already killed. So when Trump got up, it put a wrench. If there's a deep state that wanted Trump dead, they're like, fuck, he survived.
And the men's activist part of me, and I know that sounds fucking corny as hell.
Yeah.
That part is even proven even more when you look at half of his team being females.
Yep.
And every single one of the females, guess where they were?
Ducking.
Your job as Secret Service is to provide cover for the president. It doesn't matter.
I saw a video of a couple guys also flinching. Like there's a video of like
there was an alternate angle where before the shot, even before Trump even went down, they're walking around the stage like getting ready to go up there. It's so fucking weird. Like the whole situation.
The woman that's standing behind him in the Secret Service suit, ducking behind a plexiglass piece of plastic or whatever, just hiding, putting her hand on her back like that's where her gun is, but she's not doing anything, was the weirdest picture I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Like, the picture of in Dallas where the Secret Service guy has the M16 in his hand and they're driving down the road. It's like that. It's like, that person might have did something fucking weird. That doesn't fit.
This is essentially either way, even if he survived or not, this is essentially like our JFK moment.
Yeah, nothing makes sense about this, and that's just like from the most basic eye test, which like, wait a second. The white roof on the nearest building had some dude in dark clothing post up for 10 minutes or whatever the time frame is now, and we can't it's like they just let that happen. That doesn't make sense. That people on the ground, everyone but the Secret Service apparently knew that there was a guy with a gun on that roof. How the fuck does that happen?
And there's no carrying laws in Pennsylvania?
I believe, I don't know.
Because I guarantee you, at least I know that if that happened in Texas, the second that people saw a guy climbing a roof with a rifle, he would have gotten shot by somebody carrying. I can
anyone
that.
They have a license to carry at 21. And Kyle said this on PKM. He said the cop's job was literally to ask him for his ID. That's what the job was, and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's where all of this went wrong. There was one step that needed to be followed, and it's asking for an ID.
When you're carrying, though, it's not a fucking rifle. It's, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just go down the street carrying a AR-15. What I'm saying is,
some states you can open carry.
Yeah, open carry just lets you stroll down with a rifle. Some.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. I think it's just a handgun. Because
you're
open carry.
Some states you're able to open carry, some states you're not.
Okay. Actually, handguns are more restricted because they're so easy to conceal.
Well, here's my question though: is nobody in that audience that saw him go up there had anything to carry to protect?
Except the problem is there's a million cops and Secret Service around that see you pull the gun and kill you for trying to stop the bad guy.
Yeah.
That would be my fear. That would be my, like, oh, I kill the person that's trying to assassinate Trump, and if he doesn't win, I don't get pardoned, and I'm gone forever. Or the cop just takes me out.
It's all a fucking weird mess, dude.
It's way too dangerous of a place to pull and then be like, oh, I'm the vigilante with the president nearby. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
No, so no person, even the holder of a license to carry a firearm, may carry a loaded long gun in a vehicle. So that is a felony. In addition, in Pennsylvania law, any person who carries a firearm in any vehicle without a valid or lawful issued license commits a felony. Those traveling to or from target shooting, if the firearm is unloaded with its cartridges or shells carried in a separate container, if they don't do that, that is a felony. Officers or employees of the United States are authorized to concealed carry. And the only other thing that they're kind of allowed to do is be licensed to hunt and fish.
Yeah.
But they actually have to be hunting and fishing.
Yeah, like, so in Pennsylvania, like, he should have never made it to the ladder to get up there to begin with.
He should have been questioned the second that he was seen by the police officer.
He should have been arrested for having a loaded long rifle.
Yep.
Fucking... none of this makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't pass the eye test, but you're the conspiracy theorist. You're the crazy one for thinking something happened. I actually have a liberal friend that said the Secret Service did not fail. A bullet touched the president, and the Secret Service did not fail.
Okay. As a whole, if you discard the do not shoot, that they had him in the sights, that everything was long term, and it's a snap second decision and something touches the president, that is not a failure. I understand where that point could be made, but you have 5-10 minutes worth of time. You have 80 seconds of him being in scope and them not being allowed to shoot. Both of those are failures on the Secret Service.
I completely disagree with what you're saying. Because, like, the only
I agreed with you on
no, what I'm saying is, like, the first part, like, if it's a snap decision and the president still gets hit, that's still a failure because the Secret Service exists to make that not happen.
A failure, but if it's something that is impulse, like split second,
still a failure.
Failure is still acceptable in situations where those things happen.
Him being in scope, though, and not being immediately shot at is
that's the objective failure. But I'm saying anything that happens to the president under Secret Service watch like that is an objective failure too. Like, you can have that moral, like, oh, but what could they have accounted for? It's like their entire existence is to make nothing happen. So anything happen is technically a failure.
So the crazy thing is if you saw his Secret Service detail from tonight and last night, the women are all gone.
Yeah.
All of them are fired. Every single one
I
of them.
think, and the reason why I think that happens, I think he has private detail now. I think the people that he's using are people that are like, yo, I'm a former Marine, I'm a former this, hire me. He literally has fucking mercenaries protecting him now.
And I don't think that it's a bad look.
I don't either. I think he literally has private security now.
And, you know, maybe Secret Service has to listen to what he says anyway.
Yeah.
Not dismissing them, but they might have to fold to his service that he pays for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if, you know, one thing goes different and this entire thing changes. That's weird.
What's weird is we were talking about this last week on the podcast with like unexplainable shit that's kind of supernatural, where it's just like, oh, your family calls, or you're thinking like, wait, something doesn't feel right. I'm going to call my sister. Oh, she died in a car crash. Like there's some kind of telepathy or connection that people have, and then just how close Trump was to dying is not a coincidence. Cannot be explained by the natural realm.
No. It's like some multiverse, like
and
like the lowest it's woo woo, the craziest like God literally caught that bullet.
Yeah,
and it's not unbelievable at this point with how close it was. Pull it up, Zach.
Honestly, the crazy thing about it, and I know I'm going to sound like a fucking Trump dick sucker and everything else. Whatever, I don't care. I voted for him both times. I will vote for him this time too. It's not a question. The comparison in between him and Kennedy and him and Lincoln is slowly becoming more and more and more. And he spoke that into existence by saying the things that he said. If everybody genuinely looks at this shit and doesn't look at it with a Trump lens and just understands what he's saying and where he's pointing to, he's pointed to, you know, underground governments that have control over things. What did Kennedy talk about right before he was assassinated? Underground governments that had control over everything. Lincoln,
I'm going to send you my favorite green text.
Lincoln sat there and went over and tried to change all of those things.
Put that on screen. Also, put the Trump bullet head thing on screen too, if you can.
I don't think that is okay, but here we go, and here and here. There we go.
Yeah, someone read that off.
To be elected president with under 50% of the popular vote, be the most unpopular president in American history, have almost no political experience, be called radical, funny-looking, buffoonish moron, fail major debates according to the press, Democrats threaten secession nationwide, riots kick off in major cities across the country, see approval rating fall below 35 to 40% almost immediately, get called a fascist nut job and a tyrant by the press, watch the nation erupts into frenzied political violence and chaos between fringe factions, be President Abraham Lincoln, pick unrelated.
That's one of my favorite green text.
Yeah. I mean, it's not wrong.
It really isn't. It really isn't. And if you look at the approval ratings after dealing with problems like this, they all go through the fucking roof. All of them do. And regardless of if you like Trump or not, and let me circle right on fucking back to this.
Yeah.
Nobody should be harmed ever unless there's drastic circumstances. And those drastic circumstances are laid out very clearly in the public with problems that go on.
Yeah, the problem is leftists think that, like, oh, Trump is literally going to inflict harm or already has. So they have propagandized it in their mind for it to be okay, even though we already had 4 years of Trump and now these things happen. And more of it's happening under Biden.
Now they're also saying presidents have immunity, so Biden could kill him and get away with it, when that's not even how it works. It has to be a core power, and it has to be stuff that is within the Constitution and that helps protect the safety of the United States, but these guys
are fucking terrifying.
Lunatics.
Yeah, it's and they're just getting more and more exaggerative about it. I don't know if it was fake, so let me say that at the beginning. But I saw one of those dipshit, super fucking far righty guys that just posts, not righty, lefty guys that just post everything that Biden does is fucking amazing. He's a fucking weirdo nut job. He's like 18 years old and probably hasn't sniffed an ass crack in his entire life, let alone a pussy crack, and absolutely has no idea what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
He's like, Biden could kill Trump right now, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to say any of this because it's not okay to say online. Why the fuck do these accounts have availability to make money on these platforms when they're saying that this shit is okay?
And then also they're getting like above average like ratios. When Trump bought Twitter, he was like, 1.5 to 1% like ratio means you had a good tweet. And these are having like 3, 4, 5%. So it's like, this is like a multiple times overperforming tweet calling for violence or just like derangement against Trump. It's like, these people exist. They actually believe it. It's not the whack job. Whereas if you go to the other side and you find the person that's like, we need to bring back supremacy, it's like 0 likes, maybe 1 bot like in like 100,000 views, getting completely roasted. So who the bad guys are, I wonder.
Yep. It's, man, imagine, dude, if things don't change, what the world's gonna be like in 5 years.
It's done.
I think if Trump doesn't win, it's done.
If Trump doesn't win, then that confirms voter fraud, allegedly.
Oh, yeah. But don't tell the left that. 81 million votes, right?
I think any honest leftist, which does not exist, would actually be like, okay, yeah, I guess that means we cheated in 2020. Because there's no way.
The big one to me is this map right here. This is CNN's map current to today. This is the road to 270 on CNN. That says so fucking much.
But it was wrong with Hillary, so that means Biden still wins, and you got to suck it up.
272 already, right? Okay.
Arizona being mixed is fucking scary, though.
All
those California refugees.
This has already been called red. This goes red. He's at 300 now. What happens if he wins Virginia? What happens if he begins to lead in New York? That map starts to look a hell of a lot more like when fucking Reagan won, doesn't it? This is now a question.
Real quick, which state is Kennedy from?
Kennedy is from Massachusetts.
So let's say somehow if he pulls out and he's independent, let's say, because he seems pretty cordial with Trump, right? Let's say he endorses Trump. If all the voters for Kennedy decide to vote Trump.
He can't pull Massachusetts. Massachusetts is like 30% lead. It's the second biggest lead that Biden has at all. The biggest lead being California, obviously. But if New York is a toss-up and it's under the margin of error, which is single digits, this map looks very, very fucking different from 2016, 2012 even. This is a big fucking difference. Look at this. So if we see a win like Biden did in 2020, currently, it's a big fucking change. He could win every state that's questionable.
Yeah.
And he still loses.
Wait, if Biden wins those 3 yellow ones, he could still lose?
Yeah, he loses.
Holy shit.
It's the race to 270, and Trump already had 272 on the yellow.
Yep, he loses.
This is going to be an interesting thing. And you know what? What's so funny is, and I don't want to put this bad juju out in the world, but for all the fucking shit fit that they threw about January 6th, right? And you have all these wackos now saying, damn it, he missed on, July 13th or whatever the date was, right?
Yeah.
These guys were so pissed off. And God forbid that wasn't something that, you know what I mean? Like, isn't it funny how bad January 6th was compared to them?
They had the Palestine sit-in. They stormed the Capitol for Palestine. They stormed the Capitol and burned down a guard shack and the church for BLM. Not an insurrection. It's only an insurrection with conservatives.
Yeah. So
and that's when police let them in.
Yeah. Well, let's hypothetically say Trump wins and the lefties storm the Capitol now. Is it going to be an insurrection then, or is it not going to be?
In their minds, no.
See, that's what I fucking hate. Yeah. Oh, but then their defense is, oh well, there's stuff on y'all's side too. It's always like
it's only whataboutism. That's when I'm talking to my friend that said like the Secret Service didn't fail. I'm like, hey, here's like really bad stuff happening all the time. That thing that never happens every week, and they're just like, but conservatives,
that quote literally said. I think I figured out the difference. Trying to put Trump in a bullseye.
Yeah,
I figured out the difference of how Democrats and Republicans now are, and it just clicked in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans are the male-led homes, or the male-led people that were shown how masculine energy is acceptable.
Yeah,
you see that with conservatism all the time. Democrats are the female-led homes.
I mean that's not entirely a realization. No. We've been mocking fatherless households for a long time.
Think about the logical argument both of you guys just said. Doesn't that sound like arguing with your girlfriend when they're really, really pissed off at you? Oh, I didn't do anything. You did. It's completely all your fault.
Or no, I did it, but what you did.
But what you did is exactly the same. Therefore, I cheated.
What you did justifies what I did and made me do it. You made me do it.
See my point? It's the exact point. They are the women-led households almost entirely, and it's fucking funny to look at it like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's really fucking weird too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's insane that they're trying to build in these conspiracy theories of like, oh, well, Trump did this. Okay, even if Trump is a genius, which I don't know why you're giving him that credit. I don't give him that
even
credit.
If Trump can literally speak on a second frequency that only conservatives can hear.
Yep.
Actually has a dog whistle in his throat.
Yeah. Nope.
That's another thing. Like, one of these conversations was he was like, well, Trump called for the thing. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, see, conservatives are dishonest. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, you referred to some ambiguous thing without a time frame that Trump called through as the thing, and you think I'm the one that's supposed to know? You're the one that's hearing shit.
The big and crazy thing to me is 3 days before, Biden was in an interview and said Trump needs to be in the bullseye of every single Democrat. Yep. That to me is a call to violence.
Well, that also sounds like some NK Ultra shit activation code.
Yeah, like
activate the bullseye on Trump.
Like, some Winter Soldier stuff.
So you're saying a child that was hired by BlackRock as an actor all of a sudden gets shot?
Yeah, that's the other fucking thing. Being in the commercial. Being in the commercial.
That reminds me of the Simpsons clip where like Mr. Burns is looking at all of his employees and there's a guy just like holding the gun. It's like, I am the angel of death. And he just like gets up and walks away.
Well, I'm surprised that you haven't brought into the fact that, that Pokemon that's supposed to be Trump.
Oh yeah, Gumshoes.
Gumshoes. His ear is notched. Did you realize that?
We live in a simulation.
Yes. The Trump Pokemon.
Why aren't you pulling this shit up, Zach? Yes. You still haven't showed the video of like Trump's brain being an inch from the bullet.
I can't show that.
You can show that. It's being posted on Twitter.
Twitter is different than YouTube.
I mean, like, there's no copyright issues of that.
No, it's not a copyright issue, dude. It is whether they decide that it's acceptable to show to people that are signed out.
Anything pro-Trump, it'll get yellow marked.
See the ear?
Oh, dude.
That boy was invented in 2016. Wait.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Pokemon Sun and Moon came out November 2016, by the way.
Yep. 3D model as well.
And did you see that video? Supposedly it was like some dude saying he saw like a sighting from like an angel or something that Trump, like 3 months ago, that Trump was going to get hit in the ear.
That's just crazy. That's just a crazy person.
Like, you know, but it was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, it was dated. So it's like, I don't know, dude.
Oh, the video of him saying it was from 3 months ago too? It wasn't just him saying, oh, I said this 3 months ago.
No, it was from 3 months ago.
Man.
I think it is a simulation. I think everything's a simulation, dude.
I was saying this to Woody last week. The dude who was fucking crazy on this show, and I made Drifter talk to because Drifter sees shadow people, and I thought it'd be funny to put a spirit medium and Drifter who sees shadow people in the same fucking call. Mm-hmm. It's really making
it turns out that was parasites. Very wild.
It really makes me fucking wonder what the world is.
Well, as I was explaining to Woody, I'm like, when I had the biggest like breakup of my life, because I was, young, I was 20, she was the one, soulmate, everything. I got blindsided with a breakup at like 1 a.m. My dad called. I live in Seattle now, or I was living in Denver at the time, but I live across country. He lives in Miami, and he called me at like 3 a.m. He's like, I woke up, things were feeling bad. What happened? I'm like, how the fuck did you wake up from a dead sleep, pinpointing the lowest moment of my life, father? So like, just weird shit like that happens. It's like,
yeah.
What caused Trump to turn? I love the fucking Shinzo Abe memes where just like Trump heard a friend and he turned to listen to his voice.
He turned back into the left.
Nah, that's the weakest. That's like the most diet interpretation of what happened.
But it happened.
It's really wild to think about, though, like just how close that was still.
Well, also people like talking about the wind potential as well. Like that was a direct bullseye shot. That was actually a perfect shot on Trump. That divine intervention stopped. So all the people saying, "How could you miss?" That dude didn't miss. There was intervention against that miss.
Mm-hmm.
When you like watch the video and like the angle and the timing, where it's like it was actually less than a second. There's no way.
So did, God wanted JFK not to happen. JFK was the person that was supposed to fix the problems.
Yeah.
Is Trump the person that is being pushed divinely to fix the problems?
The way the world is, man, I can look at everything like that. Like
you sound crazy going, God's doing it, but there's something more. We're in a supernatural level. I'm not going to say God's doing it, but there is some force out there that is now making Trump win.
I believe in God and stuff, and I believe in divine intervention and things like that.
I believe it questionably, and that's the thing is like I am a very, very skeptical.
It's like as a skeptic, I cannot deny what happened.
I think
it was.
Even if you want to say God or not, or if you want to say a architect of this universe or something.
Fucking Buddha took one of his 1,000 hands and slapped that bullet down.
I mean, if you think of everything, there's something made sure that didn't happen. I don't care what you try to say it is, God, Buddha, aliens, maybe Trump took a time machine or Barron took a time machine and prevented it somehow, or I don't know.
Okay.
You can think all the
best meme of the entire fucking thing. And this will, make it all equal. The meme of Biden, Barron standing there like this in a fucking black suit saying, I was almost Batman, is the greatest fucking meme that's come out of this entire fucking election cycle.
Yeah. They almost created Batman.
That is hilarious.
But
that is funny.
Aside from that,
playing with dark humor.
Meme aside from that, the look on his face showed me that now he's like, these guys are fucking with my family. Like even if Trump didn't get killed,
like it's
even
real.
if Trump survived, I think in a small way they just created a Batman. Like his dad survived, but now there's no way in fuck that Barron doesn't know these guys are fucking with my dad.
Is that the same thing that we're dealing with currently? Because RFK was killed, and we're dealing with RFK Jr. right now.
Yeah.
As the third.
It's basically what happened with JFK, his son.
With RFK.
But Junior grew up being like, I'm gonna fucking avenge this shit, and then unfortunately,
did you hear about the conspiracy?
Yeah, depending if you want to believe in Q or not.
Supposedly, he was there
Yeah,
he was
Vincent
behind him.
Yeah, Fuchsia. Yeah, Vince Fuchsia or whatever his name is. But it's almost like a repeat of that. It's almost like a fucking repeat of
that's my exact point. Is like if you look at it as JFK, RFK, and then RFK Jr. and just use it that way. Just that way makes sense.
No, but I'm saying like with Barron and his dad, with JFK, and it's almost a repeat.
Yeah. Oh no, they're doing the same fucking things over again.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, guys, you guys are stupid. You guys don't see it. No, guys, we need to see this.
There's no original stories. Every story has been told, even to the simulation.
Honestly, man, like it blows my mind. They say history doesn't repeat, it smells the same. Guys, this is almost exactly the same. Just things changed.
Yep.
It didn't hit this time. It wasn't back into the left. He turned back into the left, and all of a sudden, boom.
We're getting like the editor's cut ending this time to see what happens.
Is like, no, this is like the Disney what if.
Yeah.
If JFK never was taken
it's Marvel
out.
what if, yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking weird if you think about it like that when it didn't fucking happen in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Also, like another thing that's been a huge topic for the last couple of years is like actual demons and how like it really seems like people are being possessed, or really seems like there's an uptick in evil. And that's kind of like the whole thing where people are like, well, if God's real, why does he let that child die of cancer? It's like, yes, that's because it's the devil's work. That's demons.
No, but also, I'm glad you said that, because people are saying, well, if God prevented Trump from dying, why did that firefighter die?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's also because like there's evil out there. Evil is going to enact. And I wanted to say something spicy about the firefighter that died, but not like in the opposite of a Destiny way, where as a man, your goal, your life's purpose is to provide and take care of your family. And it's like, you could die in a stupid way. A drunk driver hits you, you fall off the ladder hanging Christmas lights, and then that like stops your like what you want to do. Your goal in life is to give your family providing. Like you die, they get the house, they get the inheritance, they're well off, and then they're able to continue that cycle. By making the ultimate sacrifice and shielding, he has done like more than any father could to provide for his family. And you look at the GoFundMe, millions.
Yep.
Like that is he honestly, unbelievably successful.
Yeah.
There are three people in this world that I would die for, and they're my three kids. They are the only people. There's not a significant other. There's not another family member. There's not a single fucking person in this world.
Well, yesterday I posted
more than them.
I posted like a quote tweet about Destiny saying "fuck the firefighter," and I said "fuck you." This guy was a fucking hero. Blah blah. I triggered so many of his trolls. Like if you look underneath, I had like 65 reply. I didn't even read some of them because they were so toxic. But somebody's like, "How is he a hero? He didn't die in a fire." And I was like, "Oh, you're right. He only died just protecting his children from getting shot."
Yeah.
He
stepped up. He stepped up to intercept the evil for his family, and now he is providing beyond anything he would otherwise be able to do. So it's like, you can't call it a good thing, but you can call it like success in the face of evil.
To these people,
as a man, it's
God
success.
allowed that to happen, though. That means, well, no. Sometimes, and I'm not trying to sound holy roller or stuff.
Yeah.
But if God says it's your time to, unfortunately, it's your time.
I don't think God says like it's your time. Like he chose to make it his time in the face of evil.
Yeah.
And say it in a way that they understand. I don't understand Game of Thrones, so I won't use that example. I'll use my Harry Potter example. There's a time when Dumbledore has to die. And he says, guys, when time comes, make sure Snape kills me so it doesn't break anybody else's soul. And he dies openly in front of everyone on purpose. He says, Harry, there's a time when you have to die. When you die, do it valiantly, do it without fear, and do it anyway. It's okay. Harry has a time when he's supposed to die. Honestly, there's a time when you are supposed to do something. And there are some people that are meant to have a divine level of, I have to do this right now. And, I know my stereotypical thought on this is going to be much, much smaller scale than a firefighter saving his family. But I go back to the same exact thing I said last week. My neck felt like something I had to do. I just had to do it, regardless of if I died, regardless if I didn't die. My family, I knew, would be in a better place if I got my neck taken care of.
He had a 20% chance to die in surgery, and he's like, still got to do it.
Yeah. I was on workers' comp. I knew bills were coming in. I had a baby on the way. And I said, like, I can either deal with nerve migraines to the point where I'm passing out on a daily basis. You know, that's a lot of fucking hell. What happens if one of those happens and I fall asleep and I pass out on a baby or something like that? That's not okay. Let me take the risk because my family needs it. There are things in life that you feel like you just have to do regardless of how scary it is. And if you don't understand that, and I'm going to use a term that everybody fucking loves nowadays, you are a fucking NPC. You are the hair on my fucking nutsack, you piece of shit. That's all you are. That's all you are.
Yeah, like you can keep taking it down to like less and less extremes. That brings it to me, whereas like I'm not the guy that sacrificed my life to save my family by taking their bullet, and I don't have a family to get in the way of. But like in my sphere, it's like I don't care what people say about me on YouTube. I'm going to do the right thing. And then I even have people like in my audience who are like, yo, you need to stop. It's killing your career. Like, I agree with you, but it's wrong. Like, I agree with you, but you are destroying yourself. Like, that's the point. That is good. When you are standing up for what is right, regardless of the consequences. And these NPCs, they cannot fucking deal with it.
They can't.
What do they say at the end of The Dark Knight? You're the hero that they deserve, but you will live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah, I think that's how I feel about Mark Hamill.
I think that's how most people that
you got the ultimate villain arc.
Dude, Mark Hamill.
That's evil shit. Like Destiny, why? Yeah, it goes back to the whole thing. It's like you shoot into a crowd of Trump supporters, you hit a hero firefighter. You shoot into a crowd of liberals, and you hit like the pedophile and sex offender.
That. Who said that?
I saw many people saying that, and I love it. But it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, the only thing that has been exposed is like how evil, objectively evil, an incredible amount of the left is. That you cannot point to anywhere else. Where it's like, what about conservatives? Like, what about? Find it. Where is it in any rational context? Again, find me the racist that's getting 5%, 10% like ratio.
Counterpoint, you have the upper levels of the churches and stuff like that would abide by the Republican ideology because they make money from it. Not saying that they agree with that ideology, because most of them don't. Most of them are PDF files. Most of them are scumbags. And they probably are very, very leftist in their ways because they get everything for free. But I think as a whole, that is the argument.
I think the average person, though, like the average person, like the average person that's not part of like an organization or some foundation or group, you know,
I think that the right, although will deal with similar things, are able to control their mental illness and their proclivities at a higher rate and more effectively than the left. And we're seeing that actively in real time.
Yeah. It's just weakness, where it's just like conservatives are the strength. You can see that in Trump.
Conservatives are telling you to stand up and do it.
Yeah, Trump almost took a bullet, and then instead of like running and hiding and having like the Secret Service take him away, he's like, nope, wait. You gotta like,
I'm okay. I need to tell them I'm okay.
Dude, I saw that, because I saw the when the news coverage is happening.
Yeah, I saw that picture. I was like, not trying to like, what happened?
I'm not trying to suck like Trump's dick, although I did vote for him both times. But when he got up and he started like pumping that fist, dude.
Yeah.
Every hair in my fucking body stood, and I was like, we just witnessed fucking history.
That's like, what's like, what a fucking goat. And then the left goes,
like, you think of like all the video footage we have of people doing stuff that is now in the history books. Like that segment right there was like, like huge.
And even at a higher level, at a higher fucking level. Think about the everyday man and every single person.
Yeah.
How many people get shot and stand the fuck back up and say, I'm fucking okay. Do it again. Do it again.
And not only that, he told his service, he said, wait.
Yeah.
Like
wait, Trump, you need to get out of here, Trump. He's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, I need to tell them to fight because this isn't fucking okay.
Yeah, it's like,
and dude, he was so fucking beautiful because he got up, did it, and to me, that was like a fuck you, you didn't get the job done. And
Yeah.
you know, and
the
again,
left
this
is
goes
blaming
back-
him. Like,
goes
what
back-
kind of psychopath doesn't run?
Well, this goes back to my theory of the whole deep state that guy was ordered to shoot the shooter as soon as he shot. That way, that guy can't talk. If he missed, whatever, they didn't expect him to miss if there's a deep state. And it was like, I'm still here, motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it just, I think
it gives more credence to the entire thing. And you look at the thing that happened to Teddy Roosevelt, same exact fucking thing. He's giving a speech. He's shot in the fucking chest.
Yeah.
What happens? He gives the rest of the 2-hour-long speech, and it's still talked about to this day.
Yeah.
Trump just showed the same exact fucking strength that we have not seen on that level. We have not seen. He got shot. He stood the fuck back up. Everybody was trying to get him off the stage. He said no.
Yeah.
You don't get to
immediately that
it.
night. He was, you know, the next day he was traveling, didn't delay any of his fucking plans. Nothing. Nothing. You know, the
only thing I don't like that he hasn't done, as far as I know yet, is he has not called the firefighters' family. And that was as far as like last night. I don't know if he has yet or not. He probably has. He probably just didn't want to make a big deal of it.
Well, also,
But
like, how soon do you dig into that as well? Or just
Biden has already called. So as a whole, do you deal with your own trauma first? Because that is going to be a PTSD thing now. That is going to trigger him. Regardless of if anybody wants to accept that or not, that is something that will live with him for the rest of his life. So
well, I mean, it's like, when do you want to be called
or not?
When grieving? Because that could also be like a consideration thing where it's like next day getting a call from Trump would be like, holy shit, Mr. President, thank you for it. But still, like, you're at the bottom at that point where it's like, it might be better where it's like, after a while, it's like, hey, I didn't respond immediately. I wanted to give you your space. I want to give you your time. But now let's make this right.
At some point, it's respect. I completely agree.
So I think there is a respect angle there. But
I completely
see that.
No, absolutely. And honestly, Trump got shot. He needs to have his own time to grieve life. His life
They're
just
making fun
changed.
of his bandage.
Well, did he do his speech today? Did he speak at the RNC today?
I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he's going. Here's what I'll say, and I know some wokies might be like, "Oh, that's no excuse." You guys are right. He also had trauma in this, and
you can see it on his face when he walked in.
He has not directly talked to even the media as of right now. So I wouldn't put it past. As soon as he opens up his speech, he's opening the speech with that. If he opens his speech at the RNC with that, I'm more than like, this guy's a good guy.
Yeah. Well, again, I think you can see it on his face. Like when he walked in, he looked humble.
Oh, he was emotional.
Yeah, like
he legitimately looks like a different guy now. Like just sitting there, like he looks like
smiling, looking at like, wow, life is so fucking beautiful.
Dude, no, this I think this was his
feeling. His feeling is insane.
What's that?
I have it on a different level.
What's that term they're doing? This was his canon event. This was his canon event.
Well, it's like a level of euphoria that I don't think a lot of people get. And obviously mine is a very, very different level. But when you have a level where you're like, I could die in this moment. Yeah. And you hit the trigger and you're like, fuck it, it's going to happen anyway. And you succeed afterwards and people still come. I remember when I got 6,000 people watching live on Twitch during an episode of the podcast. And I was so that feeling of being number one on fucking Twitch is one of the craziest feelings in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Regardless of why you're there, what's going on, anything. It is a crazy fucking euphoric feeling. And after knowing that I was going to die 2 years beforehand, possibly, I could only imagine what actually being shot beforehand. The next day, walking in and still being loved at a level that you weren't before.
Also, I think it's just like the realization where, like, first you get hit and you get nicked. It's like, was that a BB gun? Was it like a smaller caliber or something? How close was I dying?
I had friends saying it was a red paintball gun, and that.
Yeah. But like, no, as the person getting hit, we're just like, oh, that only took a small chunk of my ear. I guess it wasn't that serious. And then like after like rewatching the videos and seeing other people die, it's like, oh, wait a second. That was a rifle. That almost brained me.
When you look at his reaction to it, he kind of does like this, does a double take.
Yeah.
and then he dropped they drop him down. It's almost like he almost was almost like a delayed, like, wait a minute, something fucking hit me.
Like, this isn't that seriously, but let's.
I think he was going to do the Teddy Roosevelt and keep talking. If the Secret Service doesn't jump in and it's not already handled at that point, I think he keeps going.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like I said, but then like you have a day to look at and be like, sir, if you did not turn your head 1 second before, you are dead right now, and that's going to change your entire outlook.
I wonder what would have happened if Trump said, fuck y'all, I'm going to keep talking.
I wouldn't respect it as much.
Like
it's like no, we need you safe, Mr. President.
So at that point, was it a no, sir, you're getting the fuck out of here, or would he be allowed to say, I'm finishing?
I think at that point, it's like, no, we need you alive. We can't take any more risks.
So he was like, they were like, yeah, go on.
I kind of wish he had the balls to.
Yeah, it would have been awesome. Not. I mean, the fist pump was still pretty epic.
Yeah, that's my point. It was like that point was fucking huge with the American flag flapping in the background.
Oh yeah,
that picture is.
That's all he needed. He needed nothing more than that picture.
Honestly, if something good comes out of this, I hope that photographer makes billions of dollars from that picture because they deserve it. They put their head at risk, regardless of what anybody else wants to talk about it. Let's talk about it in a more positive light. Those photographers that were there on the ground and kept sticking their head up to keep doing their job, just like everybody else is doing still.
Yeah.
Also, another thing is like we know about is like the lone shooter, and it got quickly dealt with. Like pop. Oh, it's down. Nothing else happened. Like, what if this was just a legitimate terrorist attack and like 5 other people pop up? You don't want Trump there talking.
Oh, absolutely. I understand that completely. I'm just saying, I think
it happened as perfectly and everything that needed to happen.
Yeah. Not that it should, we don't obviously don't want him to.
In a positive light, have either of you guys dealt with jury duty yet?
Yes.
No.
Twice, actually.
So I got called for the first time like 6 months ago, and I had to defer it, and I had to go yesterday. And it was the most sloggiest day of my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
For a case that literally was just a civil case.
Yeah.
They called 365 people for a civil case that they talked to 12 people.
Yeah. So the last time I went was a while back. I don't think, I think they give you, like, once you do it, you have like a certain amount of years where you're not going to.
6 years.
Yeah. So I did it twice already. And last time I did it, I sat in a room for like a waiting room for like 8 hours. Didn't even get called.
Yours was a waiting room?
It was,
I had to call in. I had to call in Friday, and they're like, "Okay, this number to this number, you guys come, and everybody else will come the next day or whatever."
Yeah.
So if we don't have it filled,
so I forgot I did it 3 times. The third time was internet only, so it was Zoom only.
You got the COVID time.
Yeah, it was like 2021. I had to log into Zoom, and I literally had to sit at my computer all day. They had all of us there. Then they separated us by rooms, asked us questioning. Then they put us back to a thing, and they said, do not go anywhere until we come back in and tell you can log off. And that was a whole 8 days. But the second time I went was in a big ass like waiting room at the courthouse. It was just like a huge, like almost like a airport. Like, you're waiting, there's chairs, just sat there, played on my phone. And then the first time that I went, I actually got called, did the whole panel, whatever, sat in a fucking courtroom, listened to the case. Then they questioned us, and I ended up not getting picked. But every time that I went, I stayed the whole day from when I first reported until end of business day.
Yeah, I stayed there until 1 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah,
and
that's not bad. At least you didn't stay. At least you didn't stay till 5.
We didn't even go to lunch. We didn't even get a lunch.
Well, that's because you left at 1, so they figured you could go to lunch when you got out.
No, we didn't even see the judge.
See, that's weird.
We just saw the lawyers.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't talk about what the exact case was, but this was the funniest thing ever. They kicked off 3 people. 1 because she couldn't understand English.
Mm-hmm.
She could speak it.
Yeah,
and had a pretty heavy accent, but couldn't understand English when it was vague. You're like, kick her? They're like, yes.
And well, it's almost like the lawyers are picking teams for like basketball, like in elementary, because they're sitting there.
I love how they both agreed.
Yeah.
Every single person they kicked off, both of them agreed.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, she can go. Yeah, they can go. It's cool.
Because I mean, they've asked, when I went, they asked people like, how many of y'all have been victim? Like, because one of mine was like a domestic violence case. So right off the bat, they're like, all right, lady. They weren't even sugarcoating. They're like, all right, ladies, raise your hand if you've been involved in domestic violence. And every girl that raised their hand, all right, see y'all. Yep. Didn't even let any of them sit in there. They said, bye.
Bias.
See y'all.
Yep, can't be biased.
Then they were like, okay, men, how many of y'all have been in domestic violence? Okay, bye. See y'all. So they right off the bat, they got rid of it, like half the people.
Yeah, they're like, okay, so it finally gets to the last person. It was the last person in the entire bank that they were testing. It was this old guy. I believe he said he was in the army, I overheard, and he had severe hearing loss. They're like, so do you know anything about this? He said, huh? I didn't hear anything you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, well, all this. Well, are you free this day? No, I'm not free this day. I've been waiting a year for a dentist appointment. So I kind of want to go to that. They're like, sir, go ahead. You can go to that. He's like, wait, are you serious? He's like, yeah, go. So he's sitting there like trying to creep up and like hope that he's doing the right thing by getting up. He's like, no, go. Mm-hmm. And it's the prosecutor, like it's the defense attorney being like, no, get the fuck out of here. Like, leave. And he gets up to the top of the stairs. He's like, no, leave now before, like, we change your mind. So they call up the next person. It ended up being a chick. And they're like, so what do you do for a living? I'm a dentist. I'm starting my practice tomorrow. I actually was supposed to be starting today. And they're like, can you go take care of him and we'll take him?
Mm-hmm.
I was so done. I don't even understand where they could pull a dentist needing person and a dentist right afterwards. It was fucking hilarious. Like weird world shit.
I was Googling around right quick to see if anything's come up about Trump contacting the family, but everything's like from a day or two ago. There's like no updates on that. I think he's going to.
There's going to be until the RNC is done.
I think he's going to open his speech up with a statement about it.
Or does he do the baller fucking thing?
Have the widow there.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Like he did with everything during the election last time. He flies them in. He gives them VIP treatment. He brings them with him.
I want to see how that goes.
Fuck. If he does that, man, there was a lot of controversy with Amber Heard and that other lady that out there. Like they're like it. I saw like
that wasn't Amber Heard. That wasn't Amber Heard.
Not Amber Heard. Amber Rose.
Yep.
I saw Quartering and Melanie Mack have a debate about it. A couple others. People were debating about whether it was proper for OnlyFans porn stars to be there. For me, man, I think I took it more as her saying, hey, I was against, Republicans. I see the bullshit now.
Yep.
They're after us.
That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
They were showcasing all the minorities. These are the people that would disagree with us always. Mm-hmm. Look, guys, they're agreeing now. Can we come together and understand that this isn't me versus you?
I see it. I see that. So
yeah,
I think if we get more united, like even if people don't go Republican, even if you go with Kennedy, the main thing is people should look and be like, fuck.
The Democrat vote, if they split the Democrat vote, the entire country changes. Mm-hmm. Like, and honestly, if you're not going to vote for Trump, and let me be genuinely honest with this, I think Trump needs your vote. If we want to be genuine, I think he deserves it with what he did in 2016 to 2020. I think he genuinely deserves it. He did a lot of things that Democrats didn't even do.
Yeah, like he made the country better for everyone. Everyone was better under Trump.
Regardless, thing that Democrats would only expect from a Democrat, he made sure that all of your bills were paid during COVID when nobody was allowed to work. He signed in laws that allowed him to sign checks that were delivered to every single American to make sure everything was taken care of.
And dude, on top of that, everything he's doing now, he didn't have to run for a third. No, this is his third time running. He didn't have to run for. Okay, when was the first time? So there was 16.
He lost to McCain, I believe. He lost in that race.
Okay, well, either way, this time now that he's running, he didn't even have to. This dude could be golfing at Mar-a-Lago instead of getting shot at.
He said it. He said, I'm literally doing this for you guys. Don't you think that if they weren't prosecuting me and doing all this, I wouldn't be here right now?
It's clear. It's clear. Where it's like, they would get off his back if he just said, I'm not running anymore. Just let me play golf all day. And everyone go, cool. But no.
To me, man, when you see all the powers that be and everybody ganging up on somebody, no matter who it is, even if it's not a politician, like a rapper or an actor, that's like a sign like, hey, there's a reason why they're ganging up on this.
Look at what they did with Diddy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody put their hands up and didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Epstein, everybody put their hands up, didn't say anything as soon as he was dead. It's weird. Did you see the dude who was flashing? Can we see the Epstein logs now as a t-shirt? He was lifting up his jacket when that was his shirt underneath. So funny.
Mm-hmm. Times are, I think the next, it's going to be August. I think the next 4 to 5 months are going to be fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing culture change. It's getting wilder.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is being coined as Retardy Oswald, which is fan-fucking-tastic.
I saw that on 4chan. I saw it on 4chan.
Then you have Eminem drop this CD that is so fucking anti-cancel culture.
Oh, bullshit. Dude, gag me with that CD.
And it's not bad. It's not bad. Mm-hmm. Some of the songs are really fucking good. And now the fact that he came out and saying, guys, only listen to it this way. And now it's been found that if you listen to it backwards, he kills himself as his alter ego. And now it's a shady record at the end. Mm-hmm. And now there's a part B that's coming. It's weird to look at the way culture is.
Wasn't he attacking Trump and MAGA in the CD?
I think he didn't in this CD. I think he did during the VMAs in 2020.
I thought I saw somebody post lyrics from this newest album where he was talking shit about MAGA and Candace Owens and Trump and
there was comments about Candace Owens and her wearing a White Lives Matter shirt and everything else, and the normal childish bullshit. He's been left wing since left wing was a thing. Does anybody remember Mosh, the song that he had coming out against the Iraq War and George W. Bush and everything else?
Yeah. I remember he was big against Bush.
That's where his opinion was going to be. Just was.
Mm-hmm.
Either he's going to side with Trump because he's a loud, obnoxious white guy. And, Eminem's a loud, obnoxious white guy. Or he's going to disagree with him completely.
Yeah.
It was a coin flip. It just was.
Yeah, but I was going to say about things not getting crazier. It's like, I think that was the peak. After Trump survives the assassination attempt, it's like, oh, he just wins.
You think it's done?
It's done.
You think it's done? You don't think that the shit with Iran's going to push farther? You don't think that...
Oh, this is going to escalate.
Yeah, I think that this is the crux of the story. Absolutely, I understand.
We might even see a copycat try to do the same thing to Biden.
I'm thinking that it's done. Trump wins, we reset. That was the turning point. That was the
yeah. We definitely
that's what I mean, because Trump wins, it's over. That determined it. We're going to see some shenanigans, but it's not going to get crazier. It's been decided. And everything is going to correct.
That's why I asked earlier, let's say Trump wins and the Democrats try to do their own January 6th. Are they going to be hypocrites? Or
of course. But
you know what I mean?
Trump won, so that means all that shit gets reversed and we win again. The country's better, everyone's happy. And now, I saw something, I don't know if it was bullshit or not, where it's Microsoft deleting its DEI.
I saw that.
Yeah, where it's if that's true, it's everyone, see, that's what I mean. Everyone knows it's over. Trump survived the assassination. He's already won the presidency. All this has to reverse. All these corporations are now walking it back because they know there is no other way to survive. It's done.
And he brings back the country back to the 80s and 90s when everybody wanted it to be exactly that. Like
People
he
were
might
chilling
not,
and happy.
yeah.
Reaganomics.
Well, not even just Reaganomics. You have him kind of bringing things back to like that same kind of Reagan prosperity that happened before him, and then the Clinton
Patriotism. That's
prosperity
it.
that continued. Yeah,
Just be
and
proud to be an
people actually
American.
caring.
Fuck.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
So normally I end off with a crazy fucking story. Here is a link for you, brother. It's going to be in the chat on the side. Feel free to choose one of these. The only number you can't choose is number 1. I do have to knock off the one that I told last week. It was public sex as a teen. Oh, I'm on view only. I hate that. Having 15 fucking accounts is a pain in the balls. Oh, this is view only as well. Wrong account. So you choose one of those numbers and I will tell that story from my crazy fucked up childhood and life.
Let's see. I think, dang, there's a lot of.
I'm watching the wonder grow on your face. When you're just like, wow.
A lot of porn ones.
Yeah. Well, I have to make them all great for you to want to be like, tell that one. And it's just like, wait, what the fuck is that?
Let's talk about neighbor tries to run over their baby daddy.
Okay. So
this is all you stories? What kind of life have you lived, man?
I am a broke white kid that came up from upstate New York that's absolutely flying by the seat of my pants, now randomly doing things online, and it's just, life-changing somehow. And I had all of my kids way too early. Now I'm known about a cum joke online. So, it is what it is. Could be a hell of a lot worse, right?
Yeah.
So after being left in my childhood home, we kind of were homeless and we were struggling and stuff like that. But we had to deal with child support court in order to be emancipated before we left my hometown and kind of left and moved. So we went to child support court against my dad to emancipate me and all that stuff. He claimed and said, oh, well, I never wanted him anyway. And all of that shit's hard to fucking take. But, it could be fucking worse. And we decided we were going to move in with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. They lived about an hour and a half away. And we're like, okay, things will calm down. I didn't want to fucking move there because it's the same county as my dad. I have a whole bunch of like PTSD around my dad. I just kind of want a distance. But it was like our only choice at that time.
Yeah.
We're fucking 16 years old. We have a kid. We graduated high school. And we're like, where the fuck do we go now? We're kind of just stuck. When you don't have anybody helping you, it kind of gets shitty at that point. So we move in with my in-laws and they give us my sister-in-law's room. They're like, okay, she'll share with us for a little bit and you guys could be here. Needless to say, she had the weirdest fucking neighbors move in from New York City. One of them, his name is Ramel, cool dude, had the weirdest shaped body I've ever seen in my life. He was probably a good 75 to 100 pounds overweight. But everybody's like, oh, they'll have an ass at some point, right? He had the weirdest table ass I've ever seen in my life. And
I'm not gonna laugh. I got one of those.
Most people are like, okay, you don't look at a dude's ass. No, when a dude's ass is flat and comes out like an A and comes back down to his thighs, you get really fucking confused. I remember making a joke to him so many times. I was like, dude, you could bend over in front of me and I could sit glasses on your thighs and they won't fucking move. Like you could walk up behind him and sit things on his ass and they would not fucking fall over unless he moved. He had the weirdest body shape I ever seen in my life.
That's great.
Like some weird hip placement shit. But he lived with I think it was his cousin or his sister or something like that. I don't even remember her name. But this bitch was the craziest bitch I've ever seen in my life. Ramel was black. Like black is black is black. Like as black as your shirt. Coolest fucking dude in the world. Just black. His cousin or whatever was like light skinned. like the most Puerto Rican light skin you've ever seen in your life, but would try and braid her hair always. So we walk out on the porch. It was like a duplex that was two like trailers stuck together almost. But they had a wall that was shared in the middle. We walked out to the porch. They had a little porch on their side too. And I see her in her bra trying to put on like a scrub top, but couldn't get it over her one arm for some reason. And that really fucking confused me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? See this chick's big ass fucking head sized titty out. And she's sitting there struggling, getting it over her arm. She's like, I just fucking did it. I just fucking did it. Like, what the fuck is going on? My mother-in-law runs out there. She's like, I just fucking did it. I'm going to go back to fucking jail. What the fuck is going on here? Fuck's going on? This chick, like, in upstate New York, it gets fucking cold. Like, this chick was fucking crazy. She took her security door off and just had fucking beads as a door. Like, took the entire fucking door off and just rocked beads as her front door. So, she's fucking yelling and screaming, I did it, going in and out of her beads, in and out of her beads. And we see the cops pull up. We're like, what the fuck is going on? This chick drove through the post office because she saw her baby daddy that supposedly was stalking her. Like, drove through the fucking post office, the brick building, going 55, trying to hit her baby daddy and missed. And somehow her car wasn't fucked up enough for her to drive the extra 15 miles to get back to her apartment and try and put on clothes to leave and flee the state. Because that's what she was trying to do. She was trying to make it look like she was putting on work clothes to leave and go back down to the city. And she was just going to flee out through like the Jersey Turnpike or whatever. So she gets caught. I don't even remember what the fuck she was serving because she got caught and charged and everything else. And we thought that this was the most insane, no, this couldn't be fucking true story. She drove through a fucking post office. Where the fuck does that happen? Who the fuck drives through a post office?
And nobody got killed.
No, nobody. Nothing fucking happened. So she gets arrested. The newspaper comes in. And my father-in-law worked at like this little fucking rinky-dink like convenience store without a gas station, which I have no idea why the fuck you have those in upstate New York when you have a one light town. But he brought home like a stack of papers for us to look through the police blotter to see if there was anything. And it was the top of all of them. Woman drives through post office, damage to property, arrest, attempted murder, blah, 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 blah. We're like, that bitch wasn't fucking lying. The bitch that was yelling and screaming with her shirt half on while she was trying to explain that she tried to run over her baby daddy with her titty hanging out wasn't crazy enough to be lying about what she did. She was just crazy enough to do it.
That's pretty funny. I'll say this. When I was in high school, my mom tried to run over my girlfriend at the time because she didn't like my girlfriend.
That's crazy.
She didn't run her over, though.
My girlfriend, who ended up being my wife, almost was run over by her mom in that same fucking parking lot while she was pregnant with my kid. Because they got into a fist fight and she's like, I'm not dealing with being abused anymore, and fucking left. Her mom tried to run her over with a fucking car and put a pins petition on her because she didn't listen. Sounds like that's a logical answer, is just to get the fuck away. But, you know, whatever. Shit's stupid. The world is fucking stupid. I guess the answer is crazy bitches will try and run you over with a car. Maybe even destroy your post office. I don't know. Check out 8BitEric. Check out G Fuel. Use code RMTS to check out. We'll see you fucking next time.